My name's Brenda Hounam, and I was diagnosed with early onset Alzheimer's at the age of 53. And I was an industrial accountant. And I decided very quickly on my journey that I wanted to be more proactive and become involved. And I'd volunteered my whole life, and I saw no reason to stop now. So I became a spokesperson and advocate for persons with dementia. On the Living with Dementia website, my role was as a person with dementia. We seemed very involved for as much as we wanted to be throughout the whole process, which was a very unique situation in a lot of ways, and a very nice situation where we felt we were really respected and honored for what we had to say. Right in the beginning of developing the website, there was a lot of conversations really involved in what actually we were going to be working on. So before even it was decided to do a website, there was lots of conversations going on and ahead of time in what direction we would head and what we would do. I can remember being involved in even looking at resource material to see if it was appropriate. So we were really involved in almost everything that came up. We had an opportunity to voice our opinion if we had one. It didn't necessarily have to be related just to the experience of Alzheimer's. So there was, we were involved in the graphics layout, how the site was visually going to look. So really every step of the way we were asked to contribute and involved in. For a person with dementia to be able to be involved in a project like that is huge, and for me personally was exceptionally exciting. Coming from the time when I was diagnosed, when so little was available and I had to scrounge around to get my own information, to be involved in a website that was going to be like a toolkit of information available. That was huge, and it was so exciting to finally see something in the works that was geared specifically for persons with dementia. And it was a safe place to go, and you could go at your own pace, and you could revisit over and over again because there's a vast amount of knowledge there to search through. I think when you've been first diagnosed, the thing you want to do right away is try to make personal decisions that are going to start you still continuing to step forward and to continue on with your life. So that website will give you a lot of your answers that you need to be able to accept what's happening to you and to grieve the losses that have transpired and to accept and to move on with your life in a more positive and hopeful way. One of the biggest things for me when I was still in the workforce and before I was diagnosed at the age of 53, all I looked forward to in my retirement was to be able to spend more time volunteering. So I'd done it my whole life, and it gave me such pleasure and joy. Unless somebody does it, I don't think they really comprehend that you really get far more out of it than you contribute. So I was really looking forward in my retirement years to do more volunteering. And upon receipt of my diagnosis, I very quickly found out that had been taken away from me. I hadn't given it up. People had decided that I no longer could contribute. And there's so much stigma attached to Alzheimer's that I felt I had lost that. So to be working, and in the beginning even working on projects, you knew you weren't really validated sitting at the table. You were the, I forget what you call it when you were just that person, token person that sits at the table. And we were being patronized, and oh well, we have a person sitting at our table. So yes, we have them involved in our projects. Wrong. We really weren't, because our opinions weren't validated and really weren't utilized. They would just go along and do it the same way they had intended to right from the start. So to have a project where a person can sit at the table and feel a sense of purpose and know that they're contributing and giving back to the community is huge. It's far beyond what I can even really put words to. If a person doesn't have a sense of purpose in life, then they're a very sad and unhappy individual. But if you have a purpose in life, then it gives you so much more joy and willingness to continue on and do whatever else is needed to be the best you can be. For me, the website is still exciting because it's still ongoing. Now, how do we get it so that more persons with dementia can see it? So it's a project that's still ongoing. There's still been some emails coming through after the launch, and that's exciting to see that it's going to be continually looked at, stuff added to it, edited, kept up to date, and to know that that is such a valuable tool that now the next part of the project is how do we get it into the hands of everybody and get it utilized. So it's still an ongoing excitement level for me to see and to know that there are professional people in the field that get it. And that's huge. You don't have to totally understand what it's like to have the disease, but to get the fact that every individual in their own way is unique and can contribute till they take their last breath. And there's so many people that think that's not possible. How can a person possibly contribute when they're even in end stages of this disease? When we're out there and we're trying to promote the site and to get the people to use it, sometimes that personal touch of another person with disease saying how wonderful they think this site is and how valuable this site is, I think that can also be used as a tool in that direction as well. Or when we're doing presentations on authentic partnerships, that is really crucial for persons with dementia to have that. An authentic partnership is a partnership where you're working with somebody, not for somebody. In all the years in the past with dementia, professional people were always dealing with the care partner more than they were with the person with dementia. So any information they got was from the care partner, not the person with the disease itself. So that's working for somebody with dementia. And now with this website, we sat at the table and we were working with each other from different people in different areas of the dementia field. And we were working together in an authentic partnership to produce the end result. And for a person with dementia, an authentic partnership is absolutely huge, to know that you're working and you're allowing to participate and you have that support with other people at the table, but the support doesn't overpower your voice. When I was first diagnosed, there was a big void in information. In fact, there was no information really that was hopeful or uplifting. It was all depressing and outdated. So if I had believed the things that I had read on the website, I would not be sitting here today where I am, because I would have allowed the disease to suck me in, because I would believe that there is no hope for a person with dementia, because that was the type of information I was getting. This new website gives you that hope to realize that you can have still great quality of life, you can still contribute, you can still have everything that you want to have with the support of of your care partners, and you can still have a wonderful and fulfilling life and a life of purpose and meaning. And this website helps you to achieve that. Because when you have your doubts or you're not sure about something, you can go back into the site, check down through the information to see. You can refer to the resources that they're offering available, and there's some really great resources available that they recommend on this site, including the Bias for Us guides, which were guides that were put together strictly by persons with dementia. So that's a tool that's extremely rare, to get your hands on that. To be diagnosed and be able to get literature and information from other persons with dementia on what it's like for this journey is huge. And it gives you a peace of mind to know you're not alone when you read that kind of information. That day you get your diagnosis was probably the worst day and the best day. And that's hard for people to understand. One, it was the worst day because all of a sudden the word Alzheimer's came into play. But it was the best day because for the first time in almost 2 years, I had a sense of direction and which way to go. And that's, instead of having all the stumbling blocks I had, this website, I could have gone out, gone home, and sat at the computer and got that information right away instead of waiting for 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years for it to be developed. So this is going to be very nice for my peers to be able to not have to go through some of what we did. And I think anybody that volunteers, if they can have a sense that you can help somebody else have an easier time of it, then it is it's really a great thing. I think anybody new coming to the site, first do it at a time when they're feeling good themselves. So when they feel, at a time of day when they feel that they're the most refreshed. Don't do it at a time when you're tired and therefore it makes it a little more difficult to navigate through a website. Do it at your own pace. Listen to your body language. If you feel like you're becoming overwhelmed, stop for now. You can always come back. You can always review everything, and you can go at your own pace. So listen to yourself, and don't be pushed into doing too much too fast just to get the information. Because if you're overpowered by it, then you're less apt to follow it. It's just like exercise. You got to learn to exercise and keep at it because it suits you. If you're going to listen to everybody else and they're going to push you into exercising, what's the first thing that's going to happen? You're going to pack it in and not do it. So just keep that in mind. Read your own body signs and know how you feel yourself and progress at that pace, because that's how the website is set up and geared for.